Hey, what is going on? Lewis Pike here. So, today I wanted to jump in and talk about a question that I get a lot. And if you're wanting to pay off your debt and you guys need a debt payoff plan, I get asked a lot. If you're familiar with me, you know back in 2017, I paid off about 70 plus $1,000 of debt in 12 months. So I get asked a lot, like, Lewis, what are the steps you did to pay off your debt? Not only that, but like, can you show us the actual numbers to break down? So I'm going to do a video exclusively showing you guys the breakdown of the numbers of what I paid specifically each month to month, to pay off $70,000 in 12 months. So let's jump into it. All right, everyone, welcome back. So Lewis Pike here. So before we jump into it, I want to go through just the kind of the 12-month plan that I had broken down, and then we'll jump up here in a second, and we'll go through the actual numbers that I went through to pay off my debt. So this is just to give you guys a background. So I paid off $70,000 in 12 months. When I first started the plan, my average salary was around $75,000. By the end of it, I had almost doubled my salary. So I was well over well over six figures, close to multiple six figures. So let's jump into it. All right. So this is kind of the 12-month breakdown plan, the payoff plan that I created when I first started. So I wanted to go through, and I set the goal. It was very aggressive. Obviously making 75,000, paying off 70,000 in 12 months was a very aggressive goal. So I broke down the numbers to actually see like how much I would have to apply each month in order to pay it off. So, paying and then paying towards the principal and then paying towards interest. This is what I was going to have to pay off. So I set a goal to pay $6,500 a month is what I wanted to do. It was a little bit over 70,000 that I was going to pay off. So it came out to about 76,000. If you count, interest and stuff as well, it's about 2,200 that went towards interest. So I have the breakdown here. So I have the months, month 1 through 12, how much was going towards principal and how much was going towards interest. So this is about a 4 or 5% average that I had based on all of the debts that I was paying off. Wasn't, give or take, I knew it would be somewhere around there because of how aggressive I wanted to pay the debt off. So this is kind of the breakdown of how much I was paying each month, 6,500, like I said, and it would show the actual balance going down, so I could see what it should look like each month. And then what I was doing was, when I was paying towards my debt, I would come and look at this each month and see like what my actual balance was compared to the goal that I set. I didn't adjust it, but this is what I would show. So I could see whether I was ahead of the goal or whether I was behind on my actual goal. So you can see the payment amount that I was paying here. And then I have just, again, how much is going towards principal and then how much is going towards the interest. So this is kind of redundant, but anyway, I have that here on the actual end. So I could actually see how much was going towards each amount each month. And then I could see the total principal, total interest that was actually being paid each month. So let's jump up and I'll walk you guys through. Like I said, I did this in 2017 when I paid off my debt, but I wanted to have a quick reference for people who asked me for the actual numbers. So I figured I'd just do a breakdown video going specifically over that. So these are the debts that I had here. So these are primarily majority student loans, and then I had a car loan as well that I wanted to pay off. And again, this is the interest rates that were on the loans. And again, I did an average of how much interest, just the average interest, using these numbers down here below. So let's jump into it. So this was the biggest loan that I had here. It was at a 6.37% interest. It started out as about 16. Actually, this was I had made a payment on this before I started in December, about 5,000. This was over like 20,000. But when I started like to get serious about it, this is what I had starting out. So this is the biggest one that I wanted to attack first. And you can see here is the amounts that started. So you can see how much I actually started at the beginning of the year. And then you can see it going down each month. So I was paying here. I made a pretty big chunk. You can see it went down almost $11,000 between January and February. So I put a big chunk of money towards it to pay that off. So that balance jumped down to 6. And all these other ones here, I was just paying the minimum balance that was required here on the smaller loans. So I did the debt avalanche method where I wanted to attack the biggest one first, because I knew if I paid the biggest one out first, then I wouldn't have any excuse for the other one. So you can definitely do it in reverse order. You can do a snowball where you start smallest to largest, but I just wanted to hit the big one first. That was just for me psychologically. So anyway, so I paid that. And then here in March, I went ahead and I paid the full balance off on this loan again. So I paid the $6,000, whatever was left, this remaining amount that was paid on here, and then I paid it off. These right here, these were just paid the minimum amounts that I paid here on these specific loans. And then starting in April, that's where I kind of switched back and I started to go towards knocking out some of the smaller ones. These are actually kind of lumped together under 3 loans, where it's kind of like I was making one payment and it would go towards all 3, but I was still able to separate the payments and then make individual amounts towards specific loans within the actual loan. If you guys have student loans, you probably have them lumped up where they lump them all together. So these were kind of a lump, or where loans were lumped up. So anyway, so I paid this one off, this $4,500 here. Paid that off in full, so that was taken care of in April. And then again, I paid the minimum balances on these loans here. I just knocked out these 2 loans together the next month here in May. So again, I knocked out about $12,000 here, knocking out these loans here. So paid both of those off in full in May. And then that pretty much left me, 5 months into it, it left me with just these 2 loans here and about $32,000. As you can see, from January to May, I made a lot of progress with getting a big chunk of the debt paid off. So from there, in June, I only did about $1,000, because I'll explain why. There was a shift in my employment. So I went from working full-time with the company to going as a contractor. And then I was building, I started my own business and I was building up actual clients. So I wanted to be a little conservative this month, just to make sure to give myself money coming in and to make sure that I could lock down some clients. So again, I only paid right around like a little bit over $1,000 in June. And then the same thing in July. I paid about the same, paid a little bit over $1,000. And that kind of gave me time to get things ramped up and just to kind of, save just in case something went wrong. So I was full speed in August. I went ahead and just, the amount that I was kind of saving and holding back on these months, I put it all towards this loan here and made a payment of over $15,000 to pay that off in August. So then here, after that, I was just left with this loan here. So I had September in October. So again, in September, just based on how the funds were coming in, since I was out on my own, and I didn't have a predictable income coming in. So I wanted to, again, make sure that money was coming in. So I only paid $2,000 here, and then I paid almost $2,000 again in October. And then in November, the same thing, I paid about $2,000, and then I just went ahead and knocked it out in December. Paid the full balance off, and I was able to reach my goal. So I believe on December 1st, I went ahead and just knocked out that payment and I was debt free. So that was kind of my walkthrough of how much I paid month to month. Obviously, like, I started out really aggressive, and then my income increased. Even though it increased here in June and July, it was still kind of, since I wasn't working, with a company and I didn't have a, secure paycheck, and I knew I had to go out and hustle and get clients. There was kind of some ambiguity in here. So I definitely could have paid this off. I'm guessing if I would have stayed really aggressive and I would have, kept my job, I'm guessing I probably would have paid it off here in August and September. But again, I just wanted to be a little cautious before just dumping all my money in there. I wanted to make sure, since I was going off on my own, that I had enough money just in case something came up, or, clients were late on payments. It was kind of my first feel into the entrepreneur space, running my own business. So I just wanted to get a good understanding for how money was coming in, and just to make sure that I had things covered. But long story short, I still am running the same consulting business. Now it's 2019. So going on 2 years here in June, in a few months. So things are going really good. And I think I was able to, a big part of me being able to pay off my debt was because I focused on bringing in additional income and, trying to get my debt paid off. So if you guys have any questions or want me to touch on anything more specific, let me know. But I just wanted to do a quick video showing everyone kind of my debt breakdown, all the loans I had, and then how much I've paid towards them each month. So you all have a good one. I will see you all on the next video.